Wait a minute. What a rush. Woo! What's up? The new week is upon us. Toya the Tutor. Got the Snowman Lionel Player 1. Everybody's favorite mother trucker A11s. I think I might do a quick live stream, but depends on how it goes. If I get audience participation, we'll go a little longer. Let me know you in the building. See, this lovely, lovely Sunday. Just got off a date. Went great. Sat by the harbor, took some pictures, ate, listened to some music from the speaker. Great shit. This is what I want to know. Tell me again. This statement always. Context matters. Context always matters. I remember I got a discussion with a lovely young lady today about the abortion. Well, it's a woman's body and a woman's right. I said, cool. I'm cool with that. Even though you're carrying 50% of my genetic material, but if you can physically abort a child, why can't I economically and financially abort that child? If we're going to go by fair, we're going to go by fair. If it's your body, then it's my wallet, right? Please support the snowman. If it's your body, then it's my wallet. It's my bank account. If you decide to have a child that's not agreed upon, you know, in this world, they've told men it sucks to be you. You got to pay. Would I feel bad for women if abortion was really truly just her right? Maybe. But at the same time, when you have more contraceptives than we do, excuse me, you have more contraceptives. If they gave men the birth control pill, men would take that shit like Flintstones vitamins. It's ridiculous. But like I told her, I said, context matters, sweetheart. It's not about the right about your body. It's the right to spite. It's the right to deny anybody who becomes a father long term. You already have birth control. If you really didn't need an abortion, and even if you have sex, you have 72-hour window for the Plan B pill alone. Context matters. Just like I said, there are many things that's happening in the last few days, let alone the week. Let alone the week. Okay, folks? Let alone the week. Now, you have women who passed out, cried, fought. Oh, this is not fair. This is not fair. It's our rights being revoked. Did anybody give a damn about men when they had to pay for babies and some of them had to pay for babies that weren't theirs? What's the penalty of a woman putting a baby on a man and come to find out years it wasn't his? Can he sue her? Does he get his money back? So remember, it's all about your rights because context matters. Well, Don't forget to like it when you come in, please. Context always matters. It's like gun control or pro gun parties. The context is, by DJ Thomas, that the Second Amendment extends beyond the threshold of the home, which means you have an innate God given right to defend yourself. And trust me, I've seen the footage thanks to being privy as an officer and still having a lot of connects of the Buffalo shooting. That shit is disturbing. That shit is disturbing, man. The few people I've shared that with, they were like, it's satanic, demonic, and diabolical. It it comes in context to say when you hear people like the governor of New York who says, "Well, I think this is a travesty. We don't need to have people, carrying guns on buses and subways, even though you had a goddamn nutcase shoot up a subway car." Context, people. Even when I have women say, "Well, what you say about women?" No, 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 no. The problem is men typically give women the benefit of the doubt. And what I mean benefit of the doubt is just thinking that you're actually a good person. As soon and this is the way of the world, the way the court system has been against men, and particularly black men. You'll chase me down to the ends of the earth to pay child support. But if that woman has a baby by a non black man, she will willfully not receive shit. She will not go downtown. She will stay parked up there playing in her little mulatto baby's hair. But people are going to say that's fucked up, Charles. That's wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. A 40-year-old man, a 40-year-old man who's been around the world and I can't find my baby, who's been in the military, been a police officer, done all kinds of stuff in his life. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm literally, well, stop and frisk is kind of like really played down these days, Namer, in the police world. It's really a hands off culture. That's why the crime's going up. Everybody wanted to defund the police or demoralize the police better. So, we just said, hey, go kill yourselves. That's basically what it is. Take it or leave it. I don't give a shit about somebody's feelings right now. It's funny that we want to talk about rights, but yet the two biggest things that came up within back-to-back mixtape sessions was the right of protection and the right to terminate a pregnancy. See, it's amazing when context out of all these things, like they Art News Style played the goddamn video of when Jane Roe stated on her deathbed practically that she lied. She was paid to lie. You got a whole culture of women, my body, my choice, but his wallet. I've always asked this question. What if she gets pregnant but the dude wants to keep the baby? What then? I've always hit that question about, well, how many times does it happen? Well, if it's black men rather have their kids than you. majority of the time. And see, I think women just get jaded because of one experience alone. I mean, it happens to men, of course, but women overall get that way because of one experience. But yet, when it's a dude who's got to put his life and career and everything on the line, nobody gives a fuck. You would think at some point, why not talk about fathers' rights? Why not prove that men are vital in this society? The Lord taketh, the Lord giveth, and he sure will taketh away. So it's cool for the last, what, 50, 60 years to lie and get benefits for it. But once you take away those so called rights and make a motherfucker accountable for their womb, since it's your body, you got 33 different types of contraceptives, and you still managed to get pregnant in 2020. It's like a video I just watched where, of course, they brought up the Navy nuclear physicist and the little cheerleader chick. They're like, he came in there not saying what could attract her. There's nothing he could have said that could have been attractive for her. And no homo, he's an attractive guy. Pretty sure it's not hard for him to get a date or to get some girls. But let's put it in context. Women, modern women do not like men greater than them. They don't. Especially if you can prove that you're smarter. I mean, they'll like your resources. They'll like what you could benefit them, but they don't like you. And we got to separate that shit. You're right, Snowman. First conversation ever between you and I, well, you and me, was about men's rights. I want to know how many women are going to champion. We need more benefits to fathers to raise better children. Context. Anytime it's a subject, a law, a bill, whatever that can benefit them and them only, they are for it. You got 20 to 25 million babies aborted, and nobody thinks that's a fucking problem. Those are children who could have grown up to teenagers, to adults, and been productive members of society. What has it gained us? What have it gained? All it made was for you to become diametrically opposed to me. and my existence. But now you get mad when I offer nothing but my resistance. As the old saying goes, when she offers no assistance, give her nothing but your resistance, then your distance. And I had a conversation about this with a young lady, pretty young lady. And she said, well, you tell women they need to get the best possible man and all this other stuff. I said, yeah, because a lot of women, 90% of women, do not get any of the looks from men that they got in their 20s. That is the best shot for you to get the best husband ever. Is usually in college or the workforce or the military. You know what you'll do? You'll become a hot girl summer and it's going to be a cold, lonely ass winter. And the more, and I do mean the more kids, the more bodies you acquire, the less valuable you become. Context. It's context. It's ridiculous. You go to college with all these intelligent guys. Just admit you like what you like. Stop telling guys that they need to be nice and sweet because you're not falling for them niggas. You got to think about it, Taipan. Imagine if those 20 to 25 million babies will have two kids apiece. You'd damn near be neck and neck with white people. It's sad. It really is. Because so much shit can be taken out of context. It's about our rights. Okay. Where's the man right that's equal to yours? See, men, women, when you hear a Jezebel try to outsmart you, just ask this question. What is the equivalent for men when it comes to abortion? I'm just looking and thinking, is it really worth it? Is it really pointing out things in context? Or am I just wasting my breath? Sometimes we have to see this. Sometimes we have to see this. Because I'm going to tell you, if your brain works like mine and you've been raised to be a logical thinker, an abstract thinker, analytical thinker, somebody who actually can see the world for what it is and not what you want it to be, It's very heartbreaking when you're disappointed all the time. When you know what the context is and people still out of the way when you explain it in grave detail. Take it out of that. It's sad. It's no different than it's no different than the who hurt you statement. Who hurt me? Hell, let's talk about who didn't hurt me. Let's talk about who betrayed me. Let's talk about who keep the kids away from me. Let's talk about who I can't even be in a relationship with. Insert black man here. The funniest thing about it in the black community, the number of women in our community don't even understand their men. They don't want to understand. And this is what happens when other races of women come from the pickings. It's hard. It's literally hard to explain and say, look, we're trying to build strong families, but you don't want it. What you want is chaos. What you want is the ability to go into a formal restaurant and shake your ass. I'm just at a loss of words right now. I'm just like, are we done as a community? Should we just let the motherfucker burn and never return? So many women will talk about their rights, but you never hear any modern women talk about their duty, their responsibility, their accountability. Shout out to the underrated darkness who came to Baltimore to go to our world renowned Great Blacks and Wax Museum. And it reminds me every time someone goes into that museum, the first thing you'll see in that museum is a great lifelike size statue, wax statue of an elephant and Hannibal on top of it. It's so beautiful, but yet so goddamn awe-inspiring and shocking. And there's truths that you have to walk into that Great Blacks and Wax Museum, like slavery and lynching. See, black people don't like to confront the historical references of shit. They don't like to talk about the losses. They don't like to talk about, oh, why you always talking about slavery? Even black people start talking about that. We looking at you, fucking Brandon Tatum. You know why? Because when you take slavery, Jim Crow, and white supremacy off the table, that you're going to allow people to make it look like we always been even, but we never was competitive. Okay? Shout out to Big Kev, 69539. Black American political discord consists of us voting against our long term best interests in the name of some fake moral supremacy, then blaming all the sensible black men and women. Facts, man. Talk to them all, Mike.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
See, Snowman, thank you. Come on, Prince Adam. Talk to him.
By the power of Grayskull.
You know, I personally will tell you this. My friend said when I'm around women, I'm not that much of a compromiser. Why should I be? Why should I be? If you're with me and I'm going to protect you and in some way provide for you, whether if I have a legal job or not, why should I compromise? Men, and black men in particular, what the fuck do you get that's equal to the cost of your life from a woman? Some of these chicks don't even want to name their kids after you. But before we get there, I'm going to go finish my story with underrated. And when he said he had to look at that, his lady had to grab him because he looked at that scene. Because if you ever come to Baltimore, go to the Great Blacks and Wax. Go there. It'll change your fucking life. When he saw how in great detail life-like figures, life-size figures at that, how they packed black people in those damn ships. Imagine you're traveling 3 months. In a month and a half, you're sitting on top or next to a dead body. And when he saw the detailed structure of a lynching, man, man, man. Even my son, when he was taken there, he was bothered. These are the hard fucking truths of life for black men in America. I'll include black women as well. Well, black men in particular. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because the overwhelming majority of the slaves that when they first brought them here were male. 90%. The overwhelming majority of lynchings are black males. What happens when we don't tell the black men of the future about slavery, Jim Crow, white supremacy, and hatred? What happens if we don't tell them? They'll fall for any fucking thing, man. They'll fall for anything. See, it is a person's duty to to tell the next generation about our past and our history. And for the longest time, it was supposed to be the woman's. And this is what I know about women like that, like a B. Simone. Assalamu alaikum, Philip, and wa alaikum salam. This is the reason why I'm so harsh on the ladies. It was your job to teach culture. It was your job solely to teach. What's up, man? It was your job to teach culture. It was your job to teach history. Do you think B. Simone's mother and grandmother taught her the history, and she had the audacity to talk about a man as great as the late Dr. Martin Luther King? Even in our deaths, we are not held to a high esteem because masculinity in the black community is an afterthought. We'll count it if it serves a purpose. Fatherhood be damned. Fatherhood be damned. But it's all kept in context. Because if we really go by context, and for those women who are mad at their child's father or ex husband, what do you say to a motherfucker who doesn't pick well? Because something has to give if we're going to keep it in context. Either you're going to be happy by the men you attract, or you're going to have to be submitted in a form for arranged marriages. If I was a betting man, and history being what it is, why the fuck would I even bother with you? Why would I set up arranged marriages if you were never a wife? And I'm not promoting interracial dating. You do what you want to do. But I do ask that hard question, and I guess that's that Aries in me. That's that police officer investigator in me. To ask these hard questions. What the fuck do we get out of the deal? See, you go to work, you work 8 hours, I get paid 8 hours. I give you 40 hours a week, sometimes 80 hours every 2 weeks, plus overtime. The deal is I get paid. I get compensated. Shout out to Charles Irby. But back to what I was saying. I'm not promoting interracial dating because you do what you please. Go where you're loved, go where you'll be valued. But I'll say this. What do we get out the deal? What's our compensation for being providers? Even though you may also have a provider job. What do we get out of it? It's the same question I ask. What's the benefits of being stepdaddy? If I got to hand out discipline, are you going to come in the goddamn room and undermine me? Are you going to give me a legacy of my own, i.e., children? If not, then fuck it. Even statistically, BGS and I went over black men wear condoms all more than anybody else because we know we're more subjective to the criminal justice system and also the civil system, such as child support and child custody. But yet, all these rumors, all these stereotypes still plague black men. All y'all want to do is get white girls. Majority of black men do not even live in neighborhoods with white girls. They don't go to school. Tells me one thing and one thing only. When you have first dibs or first chances to get the draft pick and they renege and say, no, I want something else. I want something better. Something that's going to be a better fit for my team. That just proves how much you've been sucking for how long. And then here's the worst part. You got some weak-kneed dudes who will come to the defense of these stragnificent bitches like they're gonna guarantee, like she's gonna guarantee you the fucking holy grail. Yeah, you're right, Toya. Wear bonnets engraved with your name. Amber said, why would I be concerned whether or not you recognize my masculinity when I already know that you are incapable of acknowledging my humanity? That shit should go on a shirt. Think about it. Our brother, Kevin Samuels, passed away. Passed away, and you got these filthy mouth bitches still disrespecting him. But how many black men are disrespecting bell hooks? Put that in context. Put that in fucking context. You got a staunch feminist who was wrong several times over, even about the Central Park Five. She's praised, and black men who don't even like her, diametrically opposed to her, said nothing. See, I, for one, hate being on the high ground and I'm losing the war. I don't do moral victories. Think about this. Yeah, Namer, they got a place called Atlanta for that. They got a place called Atlanta. Think about it. All them single women, not enough men to go around. Who the fuck are they sleeping with? So obviously, they're sleeping with gay men. All Spade said, damn it. All Spade said they didn't hear a peep from us about bell hooks or any other feminists who passed. On shaking my head, a lot of these chicks have zero character. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told my son, his best friend, and my wrestlers. Modern women have no integrity. They're not good people. If B. Simone want to talk about good people, who's not a good person, let's look at modern women. You literally fought tooth and nail to have the ability to murder fetuses. You fought tooth and nail and cried about a motherfucking wage gap and took the jobs away from your men. You gotta realize this, man. When it comes to this foolishness, it is our fault when we share the psychopathic dream with them. It's like, what's the words I'm trying to say? It's like you work in the farm all day. You sweat endlessly. You're reaping up all the crops. You're milking the cows. You even pick up one of the damn animals, insert animal here on your shoulders to carry it to safety and into the whatever habitat you have for it. And then somehow, some way, doing all your work, some chick just cut off your work. She doesn't appreciate you. She thinks that you should be working even harder. She thinks that you haven't done enough. After you doing all the dirty work for America, you have chicks nowadays still have the audacity talking about black men don't build. And for some odd reason, when we actually start to conquer and actually start to actually have a standard, notice how much opposition is in our way. To put it in perspective, who is your son's role model? Who is your son hero? And you're right. You're right, Washington. We're just the batteries for Matrix. Not one damn thing put in context. I'm a human goddamn being. I remember years ago watching a video of a homeless man. And he would talk about how people would look down upon him. And he would say, there's some people who would be nice, but the majority of people look down upon him and wouldn't even spit on him if he was thirsty or defecate him on him if he was hungry. And this black man who was homeless broke down into tears, saying, I'm a goddamn human being. I'm a human being. Your humanity is not respected. You don't deserve dignity in their eyes. You don't deserve respect, justice, reverence. Think about that shit. That shit was so powerful, it would bring any man to tears. To see another human being says, I'm a human being. when people overlooked him. That is the story, quintessentially, of the black man in America. Even when they started in the 80s, niggas ain't shit. 80s and 90s, niggas ain't shit. People talk about the response video, not the actual start of it. The response, bitches ain't shit. People get mad of how, well, rap music talk badly about black women. Motherfucker, aren't y'all the freaknik generation? The same bitches you seen in the 90s going to college were the same bitches going to freaknik. But at not any time have you ever respected a man's dignity and humanity, if you want to put it all in context. What's up, Calvin Rogers? AB Media. That man said, I'm a human being. I'm your brother. I'm your champion. I may even be one of your savior one day. But you can't even respect my humanity? That's powerful. That's powerful. And if there was a way to discover, as soon as you're impregnated, what gender is that baby going to be? I bet you black baby boys will be on the chopping block quick. I want you to think about that. Being overlooked by society. Nobody gives a fuck if a black boy is educated. I told you the three things the black community don't give a fuck about. Number one, black boys. Number two, education. Number three, being the hero of your goddamn own narrative. Nobody gives a fuck. If we really value black boys, then we would have valued their education. If we really value black boy education, you could rewrite your narrative any way you choose. Oh yeah, you're right, AB. Now these heifers are sleeping with their daughter's baby daddy now. Caught in the think about the moral fucking decay. We used to be the most morally stable creatures on this planet. Now you got these lonely bitches competing for the same man for their daughters. The same. Come on, man. Just like the thumbnail I have. That is what babies, especially male babies, are like. It's disgusting, man. It's frightening. How could such a creature willfully, willfully get rid of something that's growing in you? But you already have 33 different sets of contraceptives. I don't get it. You want to scream about your body, but does that man get to be economically free of that child if he doesn't want it? You won't do it. You want me to fight for your right? Then fight for mine. But you know what? You might be joking, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple out there. There's a couple of them motherfuckers out there. Make sure everybody you like it, support the channel, share the channel. If you're new, hit that bell twice so you'll never miss with the content. I want you to think about this shit and put it in real good perspective. Where are all these feminist bitches when it's time to go to war? Where are all these bitches at when it's time to go build a skyscraper? When it's time to protect a city? When it's time to direct a country? Where are these heifers? Where are they? You allowed your opponent, your number one opponent, to convince you that you had the same issues with your man. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it. Like, yo, sometimes you just want to give up. Sometimes you do. I want you to think about this, right? Anybody who's willing to abort something they created will get you killed in a heartbeat. How can I trust somebody who wants the right to legally commit homicide? Let's put that in real good context. If I took my service weapon and shot somebody in the head 13 times, they're dead. I'm going for murder one or two, actually, because it's not premeditated. But I could go to a doctor after doing stuff that humans naturally been doing for 2.5 million years. Go to the doctor and said, I don't want to keep the baby. Okay, suction it out. Think about it. Imagine if you're with a girl, she's pregnant, you're about to get married. Y'all been married or y'all about to get married. And then the real person comes out once you marry them. What the fuck do we get for that? And she says, we were pregnant, but I aborted the baby. So you're right. Use the goddamn fetus for scientific purposes, which is usually stem cell research. And here it is, right? Because black fetuses hold so much genetic material, white women who are going to get their collagen, their youth back off of the backs of black women once again. Let's put that in context. You kill your babies for somebody to use their cells to replenish theirs. What's the point of trying to build shit when you got a motherfucker hell bent of breaking it down? Hmm. Why? Why build? Give a black man one reason why he should still stay in the game with you. In all contexts, why? And don't give me because we're black. Because we know you bitches aren't loyal to us. So shut the fuck up with all that blackness shit. You've been trying to run away from blackness for the last 400 years. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, really, why should we? What good is it staying in a losing battle? Why does the black man have to play the fucking instrument while the Titanic is sinking? It, it's facetious. It's not only diabolical, but it's disingenuous. It's a never-ending battle. You got so many black men who are successful, family men, but you don't want that. You just want to talk about it to beat us into submission. But a real man, no, what a real man would do was stay the fuck away from you. You're not even given value in the scheme of things, right? I'm just, I'm tired of thinking, not only absorbing knowledge and sharing knowledge. And it's really hard for me to wrap my fucking mind of why do we stay here? You saw the thumbnail on air. That's what they do with their babies. Jordan, Kobe, thought right out. Anybody want to join the panel real quick? Not going to be up here too long. You may so, please. State your case. I want you to realize this. How many times are you going to walk through that fucking door and get hit upside the head to realize maybe you shouldn't walk through that door at all? I want people to actually know. There's a new day. It's a new charge. I want everybody to know. Sometimes you got to kick over the table and start a new game. Sometimes you got to go away to see your true value. Right? What do we get out of it? Mm-mm-mm. What do we get? What the fuck do we get?
Ooh, yeah. Uh-huh.
What's up, man?
The colonel now just go. Yeah, I'm good. How you been?
I'm chilling. Not gonna be on here too long, but I just had to speak out about that.
You had a lot. You got a lot on your plate, huh? A lot you need to get off your broad chest.
I mean,
I can see that.
it's not really plaguing me. It's the fact that sometimes I have to talk about my life experiences
Mm-hmm.
and share them on YouTube because you never know who might needs to hear it. Because, like I told
Enough.
people, I'm a lot tamer on YouTube than I am in my real life. And sometimes, I talk to women and they're like, "Oh, you're so harsh," and I'm not harsh. I'm just blunt.
Yeah.
Like I
I'm gonna
said,
tell you right now.
go ahead.
First of all, this whole discussion. Have we not forgotten what BGS said about all this?
What's up?
Women want when women talk about their rights, what they're actually talking about is because remember they're doing dog whistles. They're not going to be honest with us about a lot of things. So when they say they want their rights, it's their right, to they my right, my body. No, they're right. They want the right to be as irresponsible as they can be without the accountability. They want to have the right to do what they want without having to be culpable for their actions.
And you know what the worst
That's
part?
why, and that's the thing, and that's the thing people forget about regarding birth control. Because if a woman takes birth control, you know what that means? That does. It means she puts herself in a situation where she's culpable and has to be held accountable.
Yeah.
First and foremost to herself.
And you know what's messed up about that, man?
Please tell me.
When have men stopped being responsible for children? You're still gonna have to pay for them. Do
You know
women?
what's even worse?
Do women ever fight for equality? Well, if we get
No.
the abort, he gets to be able to have the ability to financially abort.
I find that absurd sometimes, especially I said I find it. I don't feel it, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I find it pretty absurd sometimes when women say what they want to say. But I understand that they're not coming from an honest place, so I don't take anything they say seriously. But I do.
Uh,
I just try to
hold up,
decipher it.
hold up. That's the key word. Say what you just said again. They don't what?
I don't. Well, when you said hold up, I lost my train of thought. So can you help me repeat that?
In other words, when you said they don't even come from an honest place.
They
Bingo,
don't come from an honest place.
but a fico.
When they speak to you, they're speaking in code. They're speaking in dog whistles. Understand what I'm saying? And even it's like say you ask a woman for advice on how to get a attractive girl. She oftentimes you think she's trying to give you advice on how to get a woman like her. No, what it is she's trying to convince you to hamstrung yourself. Because a lot of women, although they might not find you attractive, they'd be damned if they find out that you were able to get a woman better than her by being yourself. So they gotta have to co-opt you and kind of manipulate you and try to convince you to believe in certain things, which aren't true. like let me put it this way, say you got a guy who looks like Jaleel White, and Lizzo notices him, right? She don't find him attractive, but if she realizes a certain like Bria Miles might find Jaleel White attractive, she's gonna try to co-opt and try to convince him. Listen, boy, you might want to try this, and that. Her, do this, and he ends up being unattracted to Bria Miles that way. It's a form of self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this shit doesn't convince. It doesn't surprise me much.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just self-sabotaging. It's a
Co-opting.
it's not even just a co-op. It's an extinction level event.
I'll give you another example of that if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta thank Dante Nero and Patrice O'Neill for telling me this. Shouts out to Black Phillip and Dave Phillip, now called Man School 202. They talked about how when you get into a relationship, sometimes a woman will try to change you up. They'll try to convince you to do this, that, and the third, and you're not comfortable with it. What she's actually doing is trying to set you up for a fall, because she's probably thinking in the back of her mind, the relationship's not going to work, right? So she's got to make you unattractive as much as possible before she leaves. That way, when she walks away from you, she doesn't feel guilty and try to make it your fault that, he changed for the worse and whatnot, she'll try to say. And when you break up and try to figure out what the hell happened, and you try to hook up with another chick, she sees is that messed up look. You're not the man you used to be. That's why guys have to say, no, I got to stay the way, because what I did to attract you, other women have found attractive. And I'm not going to let you try to frump me up, just like I know you're going to try to, you don't want me to frump you up to be less attracted to other men. Mr. Washington, Master Sergeant Rogers, how you doing?
Please bring me
How you doing?
Sergeant Rogers, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? You got your YouTube in the
Well,
back?
Please bring me
How you doing?
Sergeant Rogers, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good evening to my brothers. Good evening to the chat room. Good evening to all the people who followed my brother for the few years.
Hold on a second.
Good evening.
Give me Mr. Rogers for one minute. Okay, thanks, Washington. Yeah, as you were saying, sir.
Good evening to all the chat room. Oh, is it my turn, or do I need to let that next man go?
No, it's you, sir.
Good evening to the chat room. Good evening to the brothers. Good evening to all the brothers who have served the 1%, the less than 1% who have served this country. Woo! And good evening to my brother Charles. Peace and blessings and love upon all those who have been. My biggest thing is this. The eyes of a lot of black women are going to be open in the next couple of years. Young men are walking away from our women, and they're doing it in their face. They're letting them know, you are not worthy of my children. You are not worthy of having a family, and I will not waste my seed in you so that you can take me through this Philistine court system that will hold me and my paycheck for ransom for you. It's over, ladies. The Supreme Court has just ruled that you can no longer kill our babies. And guess what? Black men are saying, like, you know what? That y'all didn't even have to do that because we ain't fucking them anyway. And I'll relieve to the table and say good evening to my brother, especially to you, brother Noah Day.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. The saddest part about this is that there are good black women out there. but the majority is fucking it up for them.
Yes.
Think about it. There are going to be some black women who are just immaculate, beautiful, fit, friendly, feminine, loving, caring, exciting, inspirational, all that jazz. But the majority of black women is fucking it up for those. Where black men are not even going to take the time to decide to see if you're for them. They're going to walk away. They don't believe that shit stinks. They don't believe a hard head makes a soft ass until you have to leave them and leave them in their self pity prison. It's shameful. How hard is it to get a black man to stay with them?
Look at this way, Charles. It's every woman for herself. And they will cut the legs out from under one another because they're thinking, if I can't have a man, no one can. I mean, if you guys have ever seen Chris Rock documentary Good Hair, Ice-T, who was the last person to speak on that documentary, he said something that was really important. He said, "Trust me, man. When a woman ain't happy, she brings nothing but pain to every fucking body around her."
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these women, if they don't get what they want, they go into self-destruct mode. So that means they're going to try to bring as many people down.
And that's
even if they see another chick with a dude she doesn't deem attractive, is with that woman's happy, she gets mad at her because how dare or anybody be happy except me?
Touch
It's
my
all about
purse.
her.
How dare you?
Excuse me, fellas. I just wanted to know. Can y'all hear me clear?
Hey Mel, you coming in real low.
Oh, no? Okay.
You know that is so funny. Because I just came out of surgery. This is why I haven't been on the channel for a while, Charles. I tore
Oh,
some
man.
ligaments in my ankle. I'm being forced to retire.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man. And hopefully you have a speedy recovery.
Oh, I'm walking already. It's only been like 6 weeks and I'm walking already.
Woo. Jesus Christ.
Wait, what happened? What happened?
I stepped on fuck it. I work for Anheuser-Busch. I stepped on a bottle and I twisted my ankle the wrong way. Okay, so we ain't got to talk about who's paying me.
All right.
So I messed up my ankle. So now I got this nurse Goodbody who comes to see me twice a week. Well, let's just tell the truth. It's my baby's mom. You know how we say it, my baby mom. This woman has a smile out of this world. Do you hear me? And when she comes to see me, it's all about how you doing, Calvin. You know your son want to see you. I'm like, yeah, right. He's like, yeah, he's downstairs. I get in my wheelchair, go down there. He wants to. This is a kid that just graduated high school. He's rolling me around the parking lot talking about birds he sees. I didn't mess up, gentlemen. I think I picked the winner. And how many of us get a chance to pick a winner twice in life?
Some think to pick one once in life, man.
Go get a slow clap for this brother here. We need a slow clap for this brother.
It's
a lot of brothers don't get to pick a winner once in life. I got to pick two.
Yeah.
I'm done picking, y'all. I'm gonna stay with this one.
Yeah. What about, Mr. Washington? You want to come in? Yeah.
I'm done picking, y'all.
Yeah, I'm here.
This
one. Okay. What do you have to say? Mr. Washington, you want to come in? Yeah.
I'm done picking, y'all.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What do you have to say? Mr. Washington, you want to come in? Somebody got the YouTube on. Oh my God, turning YouTube off. What do you have to say? Mr. Washington, somebody got the YouTube on. I gotta turn it. Yeah, you gotta turn your YouTube off when you come up. Mel?
Hello?
Yeah, now we can hear you better. You sound way better because I turned you up.
Yeah, I was switching my PCs. Hello?
Yeah, now we can hear you better.
Right.
Yeah, you sound way better because I turned you up. Yeah, you still got your YouTube on or something.
Who, me?
Yeah, now we can hear you better. Washington, he got his. You sound way better because I turned you up. Yeah, you still got your YouTube on or something.
Who, me?
Yeah, now we can hear you better. Washington, he got his. You sound way better because I turned you up. Yeah, you still got your YouTube on or something. I'm going to tell you this. I don't. You know what? This is my blackest pill moment in a while. I've had many black pill moments in my life, but goddamn, this shit is sad, man. This shit is sad. You literally got motherfuckers crying over killing a baby. A baby. A fucking baby.
Charles, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the term infanticide?
Mm-hmm.
Because in traditional societies, hunter-gatherer societies, they would practice infanticide, especially like say if the child, because of the the environment they live in. If the child was deformed or something like that, they would have to kill it because that child would be a burden to the rest of the group. Because every child that was born into it, has to make sure that each birth counted for something. This sounds a bit harsh for me to say that, but it is what it, hey, Radarin.
Darren, shalom. How y'all doing, man?
How you doing?
Radarin. Okay, Radarin. Okay. Well, you got your stuff okay now, I guess.
Yeah, I got it together. Sorry, fellas.
But like I said, this infanticide, abortion, infanticide, it's all one and the same. But if you think, not to downplay, black folks, the death of black boys, but it's worse than what you see in China or in India because they be aborting white female baby fetuses. Now a lot of people fail to realize a lot of all those babies that are usually adopted from India and China are usually females. Think about that.
It's just the opposite.
Excuse me?
Is it just the opposite of how females feel? And like Cynthia G and all these other females want to kill every black male that's born. So what you're saying in China is just the opposite, but they're doing it on a larger scale, and they're doing it for real.
And it's for cultural reasons. There's societal reasons for it. What they're doing in America has no point, but it's just about nefarious, self-centered reasons, or that it's supposed to be. But at the same time, my question is, who are the dumb motherfuckers out there who keep nutting up in these females so they could have the excuse to go out and do all this shit?
Pookie and Ray Ray.
Yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray.
Uh-huh.
The ultimate Pookie and Ray Ray. The guys that have nothing to offer. You know the guy that is always on the corner. He's got a 40-ounce of beer, a joint, but he don't even know how to change a tire on a car. He's too scared to go and put in an application at a company that will hire him with no skills. them niggas.
They're female oriented. You know that, right?
Of course.
Because the way they think is because they learn from their mamas about plausible deniability, but they fail to realize what's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander in this situation.
You know what's something evil I can say
mean-
to a lot of people?
Mm-hmm.
I can say this to a lot of people, and Charles, listen to what I'm saying. And it's going to make you laugh. I call 90% of the people I know bastards. Because I'm using the textbook definition of a bastard. I was raised in the same house with my mother and my father until they died. Is that not textbook?
Yeah.
And then you're going to get mad at me for calling you a bastard because go look the word up. It's your mama's fault that you didn't have your daddy. It ain't mine. It ain't society's. She thought she could do it without him. And guess what? Now we're looking at a lot of women on YouTube talking about how to pay a bill without a man being in the house. How you going to pay a bill with no money? And the man is the leader of the house. If you're not going to let a man lead, then close your legs. Get up. What do they give women? Whatever it is, cut your uterus out so you can be a man. Then you can start talking like one. Grow some hair on your face and cut your titties off and act like a real man. Other than that, if you're going to be a woman and you want a good man, learn how, if you're going to be a leader, and we all know this, Charles, lead from the back. Because most good officers, most good officers put their high sergeants and all them up front, and like, y'all know what y'all doing better than me. You go tell me what I need to know, and then I'll lead from back here and give you the directive that I know that you can get done without hurting anybody or anybody's feelings. See, I don't care about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. Tell me what you think and what you know. If you know that this man is supposed to be the leader of the house, get out the way. Sit down, let him lead, because a good leader will lead right. And if he needs advice, that's what you're for as a woman, to be his companion, to give him advice when he is, how would I say it, stuck in a situation where he's like, damn, I need a second opinion. And that's what a woman is for.
You mean like that's the queen has to be the comfort of the king?
Yes.
I learned something new today, Mr. Rogers. Thank you.
You know what's even worse? For a lot of these women, single mothers, and these sons are getting mad about that child and all that mess and everything. Textbook meetings. Is that, I'm glad God said this himself. Married man that I heard it from. And, they asked him a question: would you ever date a single mother? He's like, sure, I would. If she puts me first. And I think that's where a lot of females get so confused, as in neglecting your child versus putting your man first. Because we both know that was your child's actual father. Got what you're putting first. So being that the benefits of this man that's not the child's father, and stuff like that. But when he wants to be put first, he don't gotta say so. Are you crazy? But then you want to shame these type of men for not want to settle down with you? Like, yo, you can't follow certain scriptures or traditional values and everything, no matter what it says. They still stay structure. God, man, woman, and child. Child is last. The men in the household is first. Men is up to God. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're screwing up from trying to, at least you can't get your actual child's father. You're screwing your chances of being with another dude, because now he got to play second fiddle to you and your child. No. Dudes are saying, no, I'm not being a camp guy no more. I'm just going as far as that.
Yeah, that's what I did. Fell
Mhm.
back.
It's a hurting thing for me, Charles, and all you brothers that's sitting up here, and y'all gonna agree with me 100%. There are so many good women who were raised to be wives, but they're on the scale. They're maybe a 3, a 4, or, or just under a 5. They get overlooked because they're not the prettiest girl. They don't have the best body, but they have the heart, the spirit, and the soul to be a good wife. And a lot of us brothers just walk right past them.
Well, I want to just say that. Here's another thing. For those females, and I see a lot of them all the time, I know where to get them at also too. They have a standard also too when they want a certain type of guy. And most guys, they're not trained to fit that moniker the way they think they do. Like they want a traditional man also too. They standards actually more higher than these 304. 304 really got standards. There's the traditional submissive woman that wants to be a wife. She has a standard. And a lot of these guys, you said it earlier, Mr. Rogers. These dudes can't even change a tire. Ain't no way these want to marry these type of dudes. You can't change a tire. Like that's the easiest thing. We live in an age that you can even go on the internet and find your car model, change a tire, change a battery out of a car.
Right.
Like these dudes ain't gonna want to do that. Like it's crazy.
What y'all got to understand is America took black women and they weaponized them against us, man. And they took advantage of the system and they got paid off of. They traded in us for the money. See, and then the court systems they got rich off of us. So
Yes.
when I type black men are nothing but batteries for the matrix, that's exactly what I fucking mean. Excuse my friend, but that's what it is. And you when you got our women taking the money, being put up in project housing for like $12 a month, $4 a month, what's she gonna do? She gonna get pregnant by one guy. She gonna get pregnant by another guy. She gonna get pregnant by another guy. And this is only happening in the black community. It's not happening in the Asian community or the white community. It's happening in ours, man. That's where they planted Planned Parenthood is in our neighborhoods, man.
You told me white
But
men's
I don't even think Planned Parenthood has anything to do with it. My thing goes back to where the women decided that they was going to trade us in for the government. Now I'm old enough to remember all of that. I mean, all of it. When when TLC said, you can't holler at me from the passenger seat of your boy's car. But wait a minute, most of the guys in the passenger seat of their car was the motherfuckers really had the money and the job.
Actually, the best friends ride, but yeah, fair point.
You know what's so funny, Mr. Rogers? They sung that song, yet both of them chicks ain't got no damn man them damn selves. They still trying.
Neither one of them.
Exactly.
Hey, yo, Mel.
Neither one of them.
Yo, Mel. Yo, Mel.
Yeah.
Mel. Since you brought up TLC's No Scrubs, do you remember the response by Sporty Thieves?
Yep.
Oh, I remember that.
Heroes.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't want no pigeons and be the girls that get no dough from me. Playing in the bar, dumb broke with a best friend's coat. Try to holler at me.
They were bad. Yeah, we had a response.
Yeah.
And it was actually worse than what they had was.
Yeah, they were genuinely mad, man. Yeah, they was genuinely
it's like with
Yeah, they were genuinely upset that they made a rebuttal song for Scrubs, man.
The whole story. It's like it was more detail about them when that Scrub song had about us.
We ain't say nothing. We ain't say a word until that song came out.
Oh man.
I'm surprised nobody's put out a response song to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's WAP. They need to put a one called "Sap" because like it's like if anybody remembers Martin Lawrence talking shit when he talks about some girls they don't wash their ass and everything.
Yeah. There's a reason why that hasn't been a response to WAP and stuff like that. WAP wasn't like
they need to.
I know WAP wasn't like
dumb as hell.
To us the way Scrubs was. That WAP was just about how they try to say how powerful they Punani was and everything, and it's the shit and everything.
That's a demonic song.
Exactly. So very demonic, succubus type and everything. Virgins really directed towards us and everything. They're technically telling female my shit is this, my shit is that. It's like a porn star rapping that song shit.
Yeah.
And then
you know what?
And a lot there's a percentage of dudes that actually like that song too. Like crazy. And they're not gay or even feminine. Like dude, that's like there's some dudes that actually like that song that feel like they I'm getting WAP also too, blah 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 and everything. Yeah. So it's like it wouldn't work the same way as Scrubs and Pigeons was and everything because it wasn't a song against us like that. It was more they talking about themselves and shit. Empowerment type shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell y'all a story right now about my life. Since we're talking about birth control shit, and since I'm up here, and both situations I was involved with, women of the opposite race, and since we were talking about, like women have options of birth control pills, but here's one problem. One woman I was involved with, she's what they call regarding birth control pills. She's what they call the 1%. I'm talking about there's that small number of women who can't take birth control because it keeps having no matter the brand because they all have some kind of adverse effect on her. Mm-hmm. So I took it upon myself, and of course, whenever we hooked up, I would insist on using protection anyway. So I took it upon myself, just like what, I got this. Because here's the thing. Somebody once asked me, "Do you think you're?" Somebody a relative of mine who's a really Christian conservative asked me, "Are you pro-life or pro-choice?" I just looked at him and said, "Fam, I think any man who uses a condom is pro-choice." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because you've made the choice to be responsible. You made the choice to take the choice out of her hands. You made the choice that you're gonna fuck this chick and not splash in her. You made the choice to avoid trying to get this girl pregnant. You made the choice to make sure if you're going to do some stupid shit, at least you're going to cushion the blow and make sure that you cover your tracks, cover your ass, and it does not come back to haunt you and blow up in your face." That's pro-choice. Because hell, I even looked at this this cousin of mine. I said, "You know what you call somebody who's pro-life, but because they don't want to have children, they use birth control, or they even go as far as to tie their tubes out. You know what they are?" He said, "What?" That's a responsible adult. And he understood exactly what I meant about that.
Exactly.
Anybody's next? You got the floor.
Exactly. I'm at the age that right now I'm shooting blanks. I couldn't get nobody pregnant if I wanted to.
Congratulations.
I'm shooting blanks. I already know now. Doctor already told me. So I don't use them. I don't have to. So I'm skeeting at anything I can.
Fellas, hold on a second. Hold on. Mr. Rogers, hold on a second. Fellas,
yeah.
Understand what Mr. Rogers here is saying. Do you understand the audacity of this man? The gall, the nerve. The man's got the balls to tell you, "I ain't got shit for you, bitch." There's a bad motherfucker here. God bless you, Mr. Rogers.
I learned that from a brother that's sitting up in the far left corner. Good evening, Charles. You see, sometimes being the host of a show, you get shots. Shots fired, but they ain't bad shots.
Hey, I'm pretty good over here, but yeah. Electrician, you want to get it in?
Yeah, man. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling tonight?
Doing all right.
What's
Doing
up,
all
man?
Doing all
That's
right.
cool. That's cool. Hey, I just want to say a couple of things that most people may not realize, but I'm gonna give you some facts real quick. Number one, when the birth control pill was first invented, it was not intended for women. It was intended for men, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So the thing, yeah. So the thing about it is that if we had access to the birth control pill where you didn't worry about impotency, you didn't worry about as guys who used to do still steroids were called, getting bitch tits is what they used to call it. If
yeah.
now it has been perfected to such a degree, you don't have to worry about those things. So the thing about it is that you understand it hasn't been in our hands. If it was in our hands, the birth rate across not only in America but across the globe would significantly drop because the thing about it is if you had where men was taking a birth control pill that was preventing pregnancy, hey man, I mean, hey yo, it's like this. It wouldn't be no pregnancy. It would be there wouldn't be a lot of pregnancies out here. But a lot for one thing that they're trying to do, what Roe v. Wade was basically was to let's just be honest about it. This was for white folks. If
Can you
the
repeat that for the
the
niggas in the
American,
back?
yeah,
Yeah.
if the American Caucasian male sperm count, right, has been dropping for the last fucking 70 years, right? Who do you think wrote? Who do you think this was being overturned for?
For white
White people.
people,
Exactly. Okay.
their mortality rate is extremely high. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And on top of that, you have a lot of brown folks in America. So if they don't create more babies, that means control of power will actually transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so
That's it.
scared.
So much
I'm
immigrants in
so scared of
here.
you brown folks having power. What we gonna do? He said the black man is gonna be president again. Oh, we can't have another black president. That's just too much and too many lifetimes.
I mean,
Charles,
The first one
call
didn't do
out the
nothing. So.
military. We cannot allow black men to have another black president.
But I think the problem is just anybody that's brown. Period.
yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Right. That's it.
The problem is this. Here's the real problem.
Oh, well, I'm in Charles.
Hello, Kareen. How you been?
Yeah,
Oh, Charles will be back. Hang on.
He'll be
Hey,
up in a minute.
what's going on, fellas? How are you guys doing?
Good,
I
Good
good
doing
evening.
fine. Hello,
Good.
hello.
Oh, thank you for the oxtail last night. That was
Great.
delicious.
It's really going on. I mean, we had the discussion months ago when they said they were going to do it, but everybody's going crazy all over social media. I mean,
Oh, hell
you
yeah.
guys
Twitter's having a
started.
field day. You see celebrities getting knocked down by police for protesting on this. Oh, man.
Y'all said it. They were gonna stop. They were gonna stop it because the birth rate is low. They see it. The numbers are there. They don't want to be like freaking Korea. They don't want to be
Right.
like Japan. I mean, like you guys always discuss Japan on this panel, but in Korea, like my brother was in Korea. My brother served in the military, and he was in Korea for 3 years. The schools, they have schools, abandoned schools in South Korea because people are not having kids like they used to. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't want that to come here, and it's happening here because you guys said, somebody on the panel said that the birth control wasn't for black people, but and abortion wasn't for black people, but hello, black people, black women are doing it, and they did it, and it's
Thank you.
affecting the black population. Because I
Thank
said
you.
it before in several panels. In the 70s, there was like 17% black people. What's the rate now? 12%, 13%.
About
So
13.
yeah, so it's it's not a good thing.
Excuse me,
That,
Kareem.
but it's just
Let's look at
it's
it.
all
Let's
right.
look at it this way.
Excuse me, Kareem.
Let's hold on. Let's look at it this way. All right.
Okay.
Here's the ultimate problem. One, you don't have any intact families. Two, you literally have people out there who don't even understand. Do you know we were talking about this shit 5 to 6 years ago on BGS's Coliseum, and I had ex-girlfriends who are getting their masters. You know, they trying to overturn. Remember that time you told me they're trying to overturn Roe v. Wade, and I told you they're not going to change on abortion. And she told me this months ago, and I'm like, uh huh. I said, yeah, y'all don't. To be forewarned is to be forearmed, okay? Sometimes black people need to fight with the army they have and not the army they want. And that's the main problem.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to fight a war blindfolded. You don't even see what's out there. You don't even have reconnaissance. If you really wanted to take over the country, all you have to do is reproduce. All the fuck you got to do is reproduce. Actually have an intact family for at least 20 years. After 20 years, break the shit off if you choose. But no, nobody wants to do the 100-year plan because everybody wants instant gratification. And with instant gratification, what usually happens? You have instant fucking failure. So when you actually look at it and you have actually women like Kareem speak out against that, that's powerful. But unfortunately, Kareem's only one person, Toya, Sada Muhammad, Fitness Mom, and others. They're only but so few. And here's the craziness, like I said it before. Hold on. And like I said before, a lot of those ratchets are messing it up for the good ones. Greatly. I'm gonna go ahead.
It goes back to what a lot of women say. I feel, I feel, I feel. I don't care what you feel. Tell me what you know. And I know that an intact family with a mother and father raising sons and daughters, those children have a better and a more significant chance of being great people and have a great life than in a single led mother house. This is not what I feel. This is not what I think. This is not what I know. Because I do know it. This is what the statistics say. And hell, let's just go to one thing. God didn't want you to be alone when you're raising those children either. He wanted you to be with your husband to the end of days. We don't do that anymore. I think I'm the only person up here, and I'm going to praise myself for this, that's been with a woman to the end of her days. And I've never decided to get married because you know why? You have a choice when you go to heaven for whatever woman you want when you become their righteous. And guess what I want? I won't marry when I get there because I've never met a woman that was more righteous than the woman that I married and was married to for 21 years. These things do not happen anymore. People get that I'll stay with you 2 or 3 years and then I'll divorce you, take half of what you got, and destroy my family. Like Kevin Samuel said, that makes you a failure. Why would you destroy your own home? And you can't get a man higher than the man you have. But then again, I'll digress and I'll sit back and listen to what everybody else had to say because that's how I was raised.
That's just something I was just thinking about and everything with this Roe versus Wade situation and with the population numbers and stuff like that and everything. So I knew this was going to happen even before this happened. They exposed that and everything. It was always about population control because the birth rate has been going down the last couple of years and stuff like that. Yeah, so definitely. I already did the research on it recently and stuff. So yeah, one thing we kind of realized also too. I think our U.S. money structure value is even going down also too. So they need those numbers up and stuff like that. For some races in this country, they need it more than others, but they need those numbers up to get that money value up in the U.S. And one thing you notice, when I pay attention to it, let's say you got intact family units and everything, right? Let's say some percentage of family units create a business that become wealthy millionaires and stuff. What happens when the creates a business and he passes on? He passes his business and his millions of money on to his next of kin, which is his wife, and of course down to his children. He's going to train his children to run the business. That children's going to train their children to run the business. The business stays in the family, means generational wealth to be kept going flowing. Government benefits more on that because they're going to get the taxes on that shit, build the money value up. Now let's say you got two single people that create $1 million business and stuff. When that person dies, from each one, there's no money to pass down to your next of kin if you didn't sign a will or nothing like that. It goes to the government. Now the government may feel like some people may feel like the government benefit off of that, but that's just a one-time payment fee they're gonna use because that money's not being put to work to generate more money that way. It's like the government just take the money, boom, just use it how to use it. But if it's been in a generational wealth, when the family time when it's being passed down, that money, that dollar value from the first person in that family that became millionaire is being put to work, and it's like they can make more money when money's being passed down to generations. With that, strengthen the economy up even more that way stuff. So they need those numbers up like crazy. So it's like, you know,
But you know what? To go back to what you were saying, Mel, about the population, you're right. Because in the private chat, I just put in and I'm gonna do it in with the live chat. I'm gonna put a link in where it's a paper that I was reading, and the name of the paper was called "The Feminists and the Malthusiast Alliance." And in that paper, they were talking about how you have the Malthusians who are they believe in the ideology of Thomas Malthus on SAO. If people get a chance, please read the book by Thomas Malthus, The Essay of Population, right? And then another good book for everybody to read in the chat is The Next Million Years by Francis Galton Darwin. Was the grandson of Charles Darwin, and he was big on eugenics. Okay, so the thing about it is that particularly with us, when it comes down to us as Black people, they didn't think that we should be. I mean, to be honest with you, they just like, hey, you serve a purpose. You really don't. You really don't. Shouldn't be allowed to procreate. As a matter of fact, Margaret Sanger says it's a sin. I mean, this is Margaret Sanger. She said it's a sin for poor people, and and I believe she's talking about Black folks and poor white folks. Is that for us to reproduce? You know what I'm saying? And it's actually a crime for us to reproduce, for us to have children, because they're going to be at a disadvantage and everything. Okay, so going to this with the decision of Roe v. Wade, it being strike down, it's a major blow to these people. It's a major blow to those people. Okay, and the thing about it is that that's why really why abortions was really about, is to, hey, look, we, some of us in the so-called, whether we be black or white, doesn't matter. If you're of the low class, they looked at us as condom fodders and useless eaters, right? That's how they looked at us. And the thing about it is that we're taking up too many resources and space on this planet. And because we don't serve a purpose, we shouldn't be allowed to exist. That's how they viewed us. But they use the cover of, well, a woman should have the right to decide whether she can create a life or take a life. Which and to a degree, I agree with that. You know, I'm a man. You know, hey, woman, you know, for whatever reason, if she was raped or there was incest involved with it, hey, listen, you know, um, I see that why you should have an abortion. But outside of that parameters, I mean, with the proper education to poor people or to, you know, to our various community, I should say to our various communities, then that if we had the proper education, you know, we shouldn't be worried. Abortion should be like the very last thing should be thinking about.
I agree. I mean, and it's not saying that they can't have abortions if they don't want to. It's just saying it's going through the states. The states, your
Right.
state is going to decide your, like, just like how your state decide how, what medical procedures, what medical, you know, licensings and stuff. That's what the Supreme Court is saying. Like, a lot of these celebrities are so dumb. I had to mute all of them on my social media because I'm like, listen, y'all coming on, y'all have access to concierge doctors, all kind of stuff. Why are you guys even saying anything? Because if y'all want any type of abortion, any type of medical procedures, y'all could get it. Why? For me, they're so hypocritical and virtual signaling, and just, it's so sickening and disgusting. You know, just like somebody said, I think it was this guy on that always talks about black thing. A lot of them don't talk about reparations. Like all these big time celebrities. Why don't y'all talk about reparations? That's gonna help black people. Y'all coming on
Because they ain't gonna
NPR
pay it.
talking of bullshit about abortion, and you guys don't even know what the rule is. The rule does not say people can't have abortion. That's not what it's saying. It's just saying your state decide what the law for abortion is. Period. So it's so stupid.
But
No,
we can't close the scene of black celebrity dead that was Ice Cube, and you saw what happened. And so like that. So they kind of know, like, you know, some black men, like, he wasn't direct talking about reparations, but he still wanted to know a plan for black people. But you saw what they did to him, and he used his own woman against him that way. So like, if black men still going to talk about that, even though celebrity scats no standards. The ones that do talk about it, or a better plan for us, other than what they see on one side, but the far left, they'll find a way to turn that shit against them and shit.
I'm gonna change the subject for a second, and I'm gonna say something that I've been seeing since I've been a child. All these rich people who've never had a child, never had a baby, when they die, all their money goes to the state. Why? And then you worried about how poor people have babies, but you didn't have one, but you got millions of dollars you're going to give back to a state, a federal government, didn't give a shit about you in the beginning. But yet and still, you want to sit down and tell another man, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And a woman, like, your body, your choice. Me, I'm hoping that this new thing with the states coming through, that it has something for men. And I would love for it to be something like, if you decide that that man is the father of that child, he should have a choice to opt in or opt out. Because child support is killing our people.
Yeah, that's why they're
And it's
doing it.
stopping us from having generational wealth to send down to our other legitimate children, because Kiki, Nene, and Beyonce want to have babies with Pookie and Ray Ray, who ain't gonna do nothing, but me and Charles got to pay the freight. Make me understand that.
Yo, Corinne, I'm glad you mentioned about the celebrity thing also too, because I'm seeing so much on Twitter right now, like all these celebrities jumping to the bandwagon and everything. I mean, we kind of know why they doing it also too. It's like that publicity, and this type of publicity, brings them that they make money behind that mess and stuff.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
they're
like,
just disgusting with it. I'm just tired of them. It's just like, guys, like, first of all, if they want an abortion, they could get an abortion. They be getting abortions like nothing. So why they like making it seem like, oh, it's so hard, people can't get abortion? Are you really kidding me? It's 2022. People don't have to get pregnant if they don't want to. Like we all said it here. There's so many different birth control. If they can't take birth control, there's condoms. There's you watch your cycle. There's different things people could do. Where there's education for people to learn. Everybody and their mama know from coming up in school about their body. So and every person who's big old enough to have, I mean, normal age to have sex. I'm not talking about little kids. I'm talking about normal people. They know how sex happens, babies born. So come on, it's just stupid. I hate all these. They so annoying.
you know what, Karen?
Tag
There's
me.
a lady who posted this video
Corinne, tag me.
showing
Tag
that
me.
you can still not get pregnant if you don't have sex during your ovulation cycle. Like she actually had, there was a little device like a strip that could read a woman's ovulation time
Yeah,
period,
they have
and she
so
was
much.
breaking it down like that. Like she's
Listen,
giving all these games.
they have all kind of things. It's like modern times. We're not in 1855. It's modern times. If they don't want to get pregnant, they don't get pregnant. Keep their legs closed. It's their body, right? So keep your legs closed if you don't want to fucking get pregnant. Like it's not. It's so stupid now. It's just ridiculous.
And I
I'm
know
just
a woman
glad
who was married
they
for
talk.
years, has only 2 kids, and all the time her man has sex, she did not wind up pregnant after the second child. They've been married for many years, so it can't be done and stuff.
Just
So now more weight on the woman, and also spend more money where they feel like they shouldn't have to. Because if you see it this way, they would save all that money, even go online and juice a lot of simps to pay for their trips overseas to get these fake butts and lips and
right.
breasts and all that and everything. Go fly to Dubai and all that mess. But you know what? This gonna put more work on y'all. Go travel to a state to get the abortion done and everything. It's like the same
Okay.
way you
How
can
hard is it for them to travel to a state? Like you jump on a Greyhound bus. How hard is it really to travel to another state? Let's keep it real.
I
Like we're
mean,
in
they
New
got
York.
they got companies now. I
That's
saw a
not
post with Lyft and Starbucks talking about they willing to take a percentage of their
so stupid.
earnings to pay for buses for women to get
But they
abortion.
don't want to pay the people that they don't want to unionize, right? They don't want to pay the workers proper wages, but they want to
Exactly.
on this bullshit. It's just like I tell
So,
you, company. It's just bullshit, yo. It's just
so the
sorry.
funny thing about it though, if I use DoorDash, they're gonna overcharge me way more to pay for this woman's abortion like that. I mean,
If I may,
I made,
if
I
I
made
may.
a comment earlier, and Charles, you can pull it up. The coat hanger industry is going to be making a lot of money pretty soon. There's a lot of states that's
Oh,
going to outlaw abortions, and a lot of how we used to see them back alley abortions with the coat hangers, they're going to happen again. And it ain't, and you
Oh,
know what?
they have
I'm not
bill.
even going to be mad
No.
because
They
your
have
body, your
bill.
choice, you
No,
decided this garbage, and now men like
okay.
me are just sitting back like,
no.
pay for what you did.
Mr. Rogers, those people were mentally deranged to do something like that. If you really gonna do that to yourself, that's gonna cause you all kind of bleeding, and then you trying to kill yourself. Then you're not only trying to kill your baby, you're trying to kill yourself. So if that's what you want to do, then I'm sorry, Charles, to say that
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
but come on, people have common sense.
If I may.
They know that if you do anything like that, you're endangering your life. So they're mentally ill. It's not normal people doing stuff like that. It's not normal
Uh,
women.
Kareem, we're not talking about women with intelligence. We're talking about black women who I'm this boss this and oops, I got pregnant. I can't get an abortion because I don't have the money to leave to another state. You have to remember how it was when I was a kid, when they did back alley abortions. They're going to start doing them again. And it's going to be bloody, and a lot of women are going to lose their lives. Why?
Well,
I
Because
would disagree. That's not going to happen to like that because I was saying it earlier. We live in a time frame now. Females can go online and get money from dudes. I mean, they can easily get
yeah.
online. She don't even have to be the most attractive one. She can easily get online and get $1,200 from a dude like that, and it's happened.
Yeah.
And plus, they have like
Yo,
they have
Mel.
different things now that they could do, they could use. So
Yeah.
why come
Here's the thing I want to say.
be like that?
Here's what I'm going to say. Excuse me. Mel, you know a lot of dudes are not gonna be giving women that money. I mean, let me give you an example. If you might remember a song called "Not Doing It Right" on the Dr. Dre 2001 album. If you remember what's his face said on the song, he said, "No hoe is not short for honey. Had to wail it like bunny when I caught her, when I caught her in the mail, when I caught her at the mall with spending my abortion money. Women will lie to get $1,000 or whatever amount they need to get out of a man by saying, I'm pregnant, I need money for abortion. They take that money and now they're doing it for something else. Because like I said earlier, women aren't honest. They don't come from an honest place. Secondly, regarding birth control, Kareem, maybe if you can help me out. There's this type of this one thing. It's like a type of it's a type of injection women get that leaves them unable to conceive for like 2 to 3 years at a time.
Yeah, there's different lengths. You could do for months, you could do for years.
Yeah, the
There's,
shot.
there's rings, things that you
Yeah, vax shots.
there's so many different things. Come on. It's just
Yeah, what I want to bring that up for now, the reason I'm bringing that up for is this reason. Because, like take in parts of Africa, like especially like in areas where the Gates Foundation are pretty active, because they're trying to curb the birth rates in certain West African countries. So they're convincing a lot of the women, because they're saying the men don't want to use the condoms, so have the women take those shots. And they can go to the local clinic and get it done discreetly without the husbands knowing, so they can space out the births and such like that. I can tell you that's also been used for another reason as well. Would-be African migrants trying to take that perilous journey to Europe, some of those women, because they understand the harrowing stories of what happens to women in trying to go through human traffickers, like they get subject to rape and whatnot, they decide to take that shit because they don't want to get pregnant from rape. And some women purposely get pregnant, so when they get on the boats, when they get to Europe, they're hoping that by giving birth to that child in Europe, that's an anchor baby. But they don't fail to realize that anchor baby. There are laws that prevent anchor babies in Europe.
we need that law here.
they have these. I mean, people are gonna do what they're gonna do, but you're talking about America. I don't know what's going on in Africa. Sorry to say it. I don't know what they're doing.
But it's relevant.
But I'm just saying, for America, they have access in America to so many different things. Free care that they don't have to do. They don't have to get pregnant if they don't want to get pregnant. They just are lazy. They just want to do what they want to do, and then they had the safety net abortion, to have an abortion, to say, okay, I'll just get an abortion because I feel like it. That's not what it's meant for. It was never meant for that. It was never meant for if you feel like it. It's a medical issue if you have issues, because there's some people who do have problem pregnancy and it may cause your life. Those things, that's what it was meant for. These people are just like mentally ill, and they're selfish, and they don't realize what they're doing. I mean, they realize and they don't care.
Not that name of the reason why, and it actually is gonna happen. They will find a way. Dudes will actually give money to female for abortion like that. I mean, they out there protesting with the women. cheering them on also too, like siding with the women that wants that's against this bill, and they of course some of them are not gay or even the trans. They actually have homosexual men that's lined up with the women also too and stuff. There are dudes out there that will fund a woman to get an abortion, especially now with this happening. Yeah, what's that damn company that always take those not those donations for startups, something like that. What's that company name again? Um, I think you know what I'm talking about. What is it? GoFundMe. That's the that. That's what it is,
GoFundMe, yeah.
right? Yeah. Go
Patreon
guarantee.
or something like that.
I already posted up a letter as someone will support women pro choice and everything, and allow women to make a GoFundMe account to fund her abortion. And dudes will really line up pissing the money that way. They will do that. I mean,
Are you
even
serious? Are
females
you
will
serious?
indirectly do it or lie and say for something else, but they're gonna use the money. Or matter of fact, I guarantee they don't even have to lie about it. Dudes will actually send them money.
That's
So,
just sad. That's so sad. Like our moral, we don't have no morals in this country anymore. No morals at all.
that's what's scratching my head. Like, why is dudes actually going hard for some of these females, and some of them don't have daughters themselves and
Country
stuff?
never had morals.
Guess I could think with those type of dudes. Is these the type of dudes that they pump and dump on chicks, and they what I'm saying, they not taking full responsibility on their part. Which technically you're kind of fueling their arguments they try and use against competent men who throw back at them like you actually cream pied the damn chick, got her pregnant, but when she get an abortion, you ain't gonna stop her and stuff. So of course those type of dudes going to support those type of females that support these women that's against this bill, the protest with them. Because and some of these females don't even realize that. Like they complain about some dudes not bringing condoms and stuff like that, but the dudes that's right next to you, supporting you, he's the type of man that you actually complaining about that not bringing condoms. That we supposed to tell him you're supposed to bring condoms and stuff. You allowed this man to nut up in you and stuff like that, and he's not stopping you from getting an abortion. But it mind boggles me.
They don't care. They just, like I said, they don't have no morality.
You know what? I just realized something, and I remember there was a joke about this. It said, like, ask a man who's a conservative, if he's a conservative, like, are you pro-life or pro-choice? The answer is not pro-life or pro-choice. The answer is depends on who he gets pregnant. If it's his wife, he's going to be like Christian Bible or values, pro-life and everything. But if it's his mistress, he's going to go all liberal and say her body, her choice. He would convince her to get that abortion to cover his ass because he didn't want to use protection. Thirsty bitches, lazy ass motherfuckers.
And some females will say, "Damn it!" And some females will say they don't like using condoms. They're talking about they're allergic to latex. Shit.
Yeah, that's where you got to get the non-latex.
Yeah,
that's why you got to get the non-latex shit.
Well, don't have sex then. Be a what you call it when the people don't have sex? What is that called again? I forgot.
Celibacy.
Then be celibate then. If you're
Monk mode.
Yeah, monk mode.
Just say no.
Well, I'll say this: they better do something or get these motherfuckers straight, man, or something, boy. Because if not, sorry to say, but this nation gonna fall.
Yo, I'm getting off your panel. I just wanted to say you guys were so right about Sha'Carri, and we had this conversation last year about her not making it to the world championship, and you guys like, no, she's not gonna go, and I was like, nah, she could go, and you guys were so right. I don't know, I need to get the numbers when the major the big time lotto numbers, Mega Million. I have to ask you guys for the numbers because every time you guys are right about all these laws, y'all just predicting what's going on, what's happening. I don't know, you guys are some soothsayers or some I don't know, but I need to start writing down some numbers because you guys are
It's called
always
wisdom, my dear. It's called wisdom and knowledge.
I wasn't gonna say it.
What did I do? Yeah. I will say this though. You know. Oh, excuse me. Damn ads. But anyway. I remember there was a couple of like some of the cats were talking about monk mode. I remember they had a panel where they were talking about this a few years back about this thing in Indonesia. There is a type of plant that's indigenous to one of these islands, and the local men there, what they do is they take the leaves of this plant, they brew it into a tea, and they drink that like at least an hour before they go out and have sex with somebody. Because apparently what it does, it makes them temporarily sterile or something like that. There's a chemical compound in there.
You said they drink what?
And,
Oh, he got a super chat.
okay.
Thank you, W. Not supporting the wacky companies. Keeping up to
fund out the state terminations. Yeah.
Gonna be some.
Yeah, but like I said,
there's gonna be some interesting time.
But like I said, anyway, they were talking about this plant that's in Indonesia. Forgot the name of the plant, but apparently there was an Indonesian scientist who was researching it because the people who are indigenous to this particular area where they find this plant, they live by it. They live by the fact that this plant works like a form of birth control. So the men would like take some of the leaves of that plant and brew it into a type of tea, and they drink that tea. And I'm not sure the chemical compounds in it, but what it does is it leaves a man temporarily sterile. So if he decides to engage in sex that night, he doesn't have to worry about getting anybody pregnant. Now, there was one of those major pharmaceuticals try to contact that scientist to get a patent for it, and he said, "No, I'm not selling the patent to you," because he knew what was going to happen if he sold that patent.
That sounds like
some people think about it. Yeah.
Sounds like a sci-fi book.
Sounds interesting.
The book.
Okay. But here's my question also, Kareem, since Mr. Rogers mentioned about the coat hanger thing. My question is this. If they start outlawing, abortions in all 50 states, how soon before we start seeing women who they can't afford to do it cross over the border to Canada to get abortion? Because abortions are still legal in Canada.
Yeah, I heard because I listen to a lot of Canadian YouTubers, especially the law tubers, and they're saying that in Canada it's very liberal. They don't have a ban on. I mean, normally they don't do it after I think 24 weeks, but 24 weeks the baby could live at 24 weeks. So it's just a lot of these people are just committing murder. I'm sorry. It's just it's.
No, I understand.
It's very. The problem. There's people who
die
kids, right?
You're breaking up.
And can't have kids. And these people are just so irresponsible and doing these things. And I don't think they're gonna ban it in all 50 states. I don't think so. There's liberal states. America's a big place. There's different states that have different a group of people. In New York is very liberal, in Cali is very liberal, in Oklahoma, no, people are more conservative. In Texas, people are more conservative. I don't think it's going to be banned in all 50 states.
It's the states that sort of got a sure type opinion and stuff like that they got to worry about. I think Florida's like more of the unsure if they know what I'm saying, or they're going like they probably might drift to the red state and everything. So it's like some states is like have an unsure about it that might wind up switching to be a red state and stuff. So
Also, since this is about, like we said, this is about white men and white populations, that means that, Planned Parenthood is still going to be in every neighborhood. So with that being the case, how many white women are we going to be seeing coming down the black neighborhoods heading to a Planned Parenthood to get an abortion on the sneak?
It's gonna happen, just like how they would put like the when people have HIV, they would put the clinics in the black people or the poor people neighborhood, and those people used to come in those neighborhood to get treatments. So it's gonna happen. They're gonna come into the black people neighborhood or the whatever brown people neighborhood and get their whatever they need to get.
Abortion through the back door. Hell, just hopefully we don't
That's
have to
not
worry about like
surprising.
pro-life people who just might show up and just start trying to shoot up the place and whatnot. Like that would happen with, like, was it somebody try to blow up a Planned Parenthood building, whatnot?
Man,
Years
those
back.
protesters were shitty, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been 22 years since he last dropped that album. Barrington Levi was still dope even then. That dude can still do it. He can still hold that note.
I mean, just think about it though. You're so super mad and pissed off that you cannot take a damn innocent life. That's crazy.
Well, one thing I did was invest in contraceptive stocks. So they're gonna skyrocket.
You know what somebody was saying, which I kind of agree with. They were saying that they should make better laws.
Hey,
Hello?
Washington, mute up.
Yeah.
Washington, mute up.
Oh, sorry. They should make better laws about like adoption. They should like make and I think they should, because I read something where they like they gutted a lot of like adoption places, like for instance the Catholic Church. They had shut down a lot of their adoption like facilities, or their way, because I guess they had a ban on the LGBT people. They weren't allowing them to adopt or whatever, some controversy with that. But I'm saying, like, now they should strengthen those things for people, especially for young girls who get themselves into problems like they used to do back in the past, and they can't take care of the child. They'll have people who want to adopt children and have a space for that. And right, so the laws are to, if you have a baby, right, and you don't want to take care of the baby, you can leave the baby in a hospital, right? You can leave the baby in a fire department, and you won't get charged. So
No questions asked.
they're helping them. They're giving them like leeway not to have take care of the baby.
This is why they probably having problems with that. You leave a baby at a fire department, right? But if it's in front of the door, out in the open with the cold, and that baby gonna be suffering in the cold until before any fire truck would want find a fire discover the baby's there in front of the building and stuff. I mean, it's different when you leave him or her inside at least, but what if they're not there and they outside and
I
stuff?
agree
So
now.
it's
I'm
like,
just saying is the rule. That's the rules, right? The rules is like they do give people a leeway not to, if they have the baby and they can't take care of the, you can leave the baby to the hospital, and they won't charge you. They will give the baby to another person to take care of. So it's like they are helping them. They don't have. They're like, "It's my body, my choice." People's forcing them to have the kids and forcing them to take care of kids. No, they're not. They're saying, "Okay, if you have the baby and you don't want to take care of the baby, you could give up the baby for adoption. You don't have to keep the baby.
Hmm.
You do
Now,
have
now
the right
that's better. You leave them in the hospital, inside of a place. I guess
to leave
with
the
all
baby."
these crazy nuts that we got that probably will snatch up a kid for child,
But
child trafficking and all that mess. Leave them out, leaving the kid outside before. How long it's gonna take for someone to discover that kid outside like that?
but they don't
So,
charge them. That my point is they give them so much like leeway. They get so much help in this country. So they don't have to, oh, I'm forced to take care of a child that I don't want. No, you're not. You're not forced to take care of a child you don't want. That's not true.
yeah,
So all their excuses is just them want to be wicked. That's it. It's just wickedness.
It's plus they don't want to go through the pregnancy process. They don't want to go through the process of giving birth,
I
and
mean,
stuff.
it's just what I
especially if they
said.
have
They're
to
pissed. They're
carry.
pissed off because they cannot murder an innocent life.
Hmm.
Yeah. By the way, Kareem, one thing you got to consider is like when it's like putting up a baby for adoption. A lot of people, I think this, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, like in the U.S., I could be wrong though, but for a lot of American couples, like especially white couples, they have to go through so much just to adopt a child within the U.S. Social services and whatnot.
Hmm.
And because of the crap they got to deal with, and because of the paperwork, the bureaucracy, and social services needs an overhaul. A lot of them say, you know what, fuck this. We're just gonna go overseas and adopt
Right. And that's my point is that's what they're
because
saying.
it's a lot easier for them that way. They go overseas. It's a lot easier for them to adopt
Right,
because the
Nema.
paperwork is not as
Right. That's what I'm saying. They should change those laws. This is what I was saying in the beginning of
Yeah.
my. They should change the laws and make it easier for people to adopt because it's so hard now. And then the places that was making it easier, they shut it down because they were saying that they was biased against the LGBT people. Because the Catholic Church was having a program to help families adopt. Like who adopt the most in this country now is the people from the L the Mormons. They have facilities where they help Mormon couples because they believe in family. They have a lot of kids. They have really good laws to help their couples adopt children. But in other religion, they're so anti-religion now that they shut down a lot of those religious programs that was helping the adoption process. So their process, the bureaucracy and all their craziness that they do makes it so hard for people to adopt babies now. But now that they do that, they should do proper laws and and make it better for couples who want to adopt children. Because these people, since they don't want to take care of kids, and since it's my body, my choice, craziness they talking about. Okay, you don't want to take care of the kid? We'll find a nice family and a couple who want to take care of the child, and you don't have no issues now. What's your issue now?
No. I think there's a government incentive that they get per child these agencies be getting. So that's probably another way. I think some they just do it on purpose to hold the kid for a couple while. So it's just the same thing with welfare when people get not welfare. When they get into the shelter system, they don't these shelter places they don't help people find apartments, but they take so long to place people in apartments. That's because they get a incentive from the government or state, per person they register and stuff for a
Yep,
while.
yep, that's true. Yep,
Yep.
they get paid for every head that's in there in their shelter. Cause I know because I used to be homeless for a long while. So he telling the truth.
Hmm. And the shelters even say themselves, like, this lady, like, they don't actually help you get an apartment. They place you temporary home, but getting an apartment is still up to you.
Yeah,
Like, I will tell you to go to certain programs, and being that you're homeless and a female with kids, they'll push your paper, the Section 8 push your paper faster because they're like first priority, but they don't help people get apartments like, a lot of people thought they did. Yeah. So,
yeah, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
Oh, damn.
All right, folks, I'm at the shut down. Get some rest for the training in the morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good.
Woo!
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you.
Have a great
Thanks
night,
for having me,
y'all.
Charles.
Thank you for having me.
Come back tomorrow. Same bad panel. Don't ask me the goddamn bad speech. But we're coming back. Woo! Good night.
Woo!